Hello everyone, welcome back to Introducing Literature, Module 3, Literature and Ideology, Lesson 3. Let us have a quick recap of the portions we have discussed in the last class. We have tried to define the terms power and hegemony. Power means exercising control over another person, group, nation, culture, gender, race, etc. Exercising power can be either forceful or non forceful. Then, hegemony. Hegemony is the condition in which the subordinate group give consent to be dominated. It is the process through which the dominant classes or groups propagate their beliefs and ideas, rule over the subordinate group with their consent. The important term here is with their consent. Let us move on. Michel Foucault is a thinker who has studied and observed about power. According to Foucault, power is not a quality possessed by an individual or government. Instead, it is a network of social relations governed by language. So Foucault says that power is not something that is held by a person or government. Instead, it is a network of social relations governed by, controlled by language. How power is exercised through language. How language exert power. Let us see some examples. The following usage of words shows male centeredness in culture, male centeredness, male centered power. How male centered power is established in language. Let us see with these examples. For example, see, the word man is used for all human beings. You might have noticed that. See the statement, man is a social animal. Here, the word man, which is masculine gender, is used for all human beings, used to designate all human beings. So that shows the dominance given to the masculine gender. Now, similar examples can be seen. Uh, the word master is used with a positive meaning. We may say that he is master of something. Uh, Meanwhile, the word mistress is used with a negative meaning. Mistress is a word used with a negative meaning in the sense that mistress is a woman with it is equated with a prostitute or something like that. Similarly, bachelor is used with a positive connotation. You might have heard that a bachelor, a chronic bachelor, he such a terms are used with a positive connotation. Uh, that person is considered as uh, having positive qualities. But instead, the female counterpart of a bachelor, that is spinster, an unmarried woman. Bachelor means married, unmarried man. Spinster, an unmarried woman, is used with a negative connotation usually. Or you just try to compare the following statements like this. Remember, you are a man. Compare it with the statement, you remember, you are a woman. See, the first statement is often used to denote the positive quality, while the second is used to show the limitation. And the limitation is within quotation. Uh, Another one, married and unmarried men are addressed as Mr. However, The marital status of a woman is specially denoted using Miss and Mrs. So nowadays, these injustices in language is identified and corrected. Today, a woman is addressed with Miss, whether she is married or unmarried. That is a new development. The term chairperson is replaced with chairperson. It's a gender neutral term. Previously, the chairman was given to, even if that position is held by a woman. And here, let us stop and think for a while. Hope you understood the injustice. Hope you understood the injustice embedded in these examples. See, the important thing is like this. If you are a person supporting male centered attitude, you will not see the injustice in it. You will only think that it is right. So, this is an evaluating moment. You can ask yourself whether you are a male, you are having a human centered attitude, or you are having a male centered attitude. Now, let us examine the term interpellation, that is continuing from power and hegemony. Interpellation. The term describes an idea introduced by Louis Althusser. Louis Althusser is a French Marxist philosopher. The term describes an idea introduced by Louis Althusser to explain the way in which ideas get into our heads and have an effect on our life. How an idea enters our head. Head means in our thinking process, and how it will have an effect on our life. Interpellation is a process in which we encounter our culture's values and internalize them. So this is a process how we internalize the values. See, we have all undergone the process of interpellation, right? See, we are born into a set of beliefs and practices, especially in our family. Uh, Quite naturally, we will be receiving the values followed by our family, right? We will be following the receiving the values followed by the society in which we live. We accepted it, and it has become part of our life. The process by which these beliefs and practices become part of our lives is called interpellation. So, hope you understood the uh, concept of interpellation. So, continuing, we have already discussed that every text will be having an ideology embedded in it. To remind you once again, ideology is the dominant beliefs, ideas that appear in a text that support the beliefs and ideas of the majority. So every text will be having an ideology that is a dominant belief which will be supporting the majority ideas in that particular place or society. This is Althusser. According to Althusser, there are two ways in which existing power relations are enforced on us. See, Althusser observed that two ways in which the existing power relations are enforced on us. One is through institutions such as army, police, etc. Althusser calls these institutions as repressive state apparatus or RSAs. We know that army, police, mm, etc. are power enforcing agencies. See, government use uh, army, police, etc. Uh, to enforce an idea on or enforce power on us, not idea, power on us. That is a straightforward example. It is very easy to understand. However, a more complicated way of enforcing power is through institutions like a family, schools, religion, politics, media, etc. In case of the earlier one, that is repressive state apparatus like army, police, etc., we know that these are power exercising institutions. However, in case of family, schools, religion, politics, etc., the idea is conveyed to us without getting any feeling that they are forced upon us. We don't feel that it is forced upon us, especially family is such as an institution. Through various institutions such as family, schools, religion, politics, and media, which he calls ideological state apparatus or ISAs. So, establishing power or reinforcing power using these institutions like family, schools, religion, etc. Uh, that is another way of exercising power, and they are called ideological state apparatus. Moving on, the tendency of establishing a dominant power over another can be seen in every interaction. It is there in a conversation, it is there in a literary text. For example, a writer is trying to establish his ideas through his texts, so he is trying to convey his ideology through the text. When you are engaged in a conversation, your motive will be to convince your ideas and belief to another person. We often do that. Whatever we say, we are trying to convince our argument to another. Read the following passage taken from Arundhati Roy's God of Small Things. Read the passage carefully. Here you can see how dominant classes abuse power to exercise their superiority over less fortunate people, or how the dominant class is trying to reinforce existing power relations. I will just read through it. What are small things? The cover of it. As a young boy, Velutta would come with Vallipapan to the back entrance of Aimanam house. See, the name Velutta itself shows that he is a person belonging to the so-called lower caste, and he is coming to the back entrance of the Aimanam house itself shows that these people are not allowed to enter through the front door to deliver coconuts they had plucked from the compound. Papachi would not allow Paravans means that a particular caste, would not allow Paravans to enter the house. Nobody would. They were not allowed to touch anything that touchables touched. Caste Hindus and caste Christians. Mamachi told Estha and Rahel that she could remember a time in her girlhood when Paravans were expected to crawl backwards with a broom, sweeping away their footprints so that Brahmins and Syrian Christians would not defile themselves by accidentally stepping into a Paravan's footprint. In Mamachi's times, Paravans, like other untouchables, were not allowed to walk on public roads, not allowed to cover up their upper bodies, not allowed to carry umbrellas. They had to put their hands over their mouths when they spoke to divert their polluted breath away from those whom they addressed. See the treatment of uh, uh, the so-called lower castes by the higher castes. So this is done in order to reinforce the existing power relations. So here, by abusing the Paravans, the dominant class, here Papachi's family, is trying to reinforce the existing power relation. Thus, the existing power system will continue. The children who see this practice will internalize them as right. Thus, an idea is transferred to the next generation as well. Here, the idea is we are dominant people and Paravans are inferior people. So, we learn such dominant ideas from institutions like family, school, etc., which Althusser refers as ideological state apparatus. Now, let us stop and think. Evaluate yourself. Do you believe that you are superior to any other in terms of your religion, caste, gender, nation, race, etc.? Evaluate yourself. In the above passage, how do you think Arundhati Roy documents the discrimination against and ostracism in throwing out of lower castes perpetrated, gone deep in the social history of Kerala? Uh, how does she sensitize or make aware the readers to the social injustices committed against the Paravans? If you are given an opportunity, what will you do in order to eradicate such things? So we are stopping here. Thank you.